So what sucks about folding stocks on AR-15s is typically when you fold them, you disengage the operating system from the guts. You pull the trigger right now, you get one shot. Until now. This is the Deadfoot Arms MCS system, and it fixes all those issues. Deadfoot Arms MCS system. What is it and how does it work? Well, it's a folding stock system that is designed to compress the operation system into a smaller package, moving it from the entire length of the stock into an extension right here at the rear of the receiver. Now, how does it work? We have a button down here on the bottom. You simply push that and it rotates over. As the cam rotates over, you can see that it locks, and it locks via this little detent right here, and it goes to about right there and rolls over, and it just takes a couple pounds of force just lifting up on the stock to rotate it over. So this thing comes in two different versions for the 5.56, both left and right hand, and they're working on other calibers as well. Unfortunately, they were not quite ready for those calibers at the timing of this video. So I've had this thing for about 4 months now as far as the left hand folder is concerned. I got it shortly before SHOT Show, right around the Christmas era. It's at the end of March right now, it's almost April. And I think it's time to actually do the video on it. I've been using it for that entire time period. As you guys will recognize, this is my work gun. This is the one that I used for just about everything, for putting new products on, to see how they work. You know, it is my beater gun, and this thing has been beat, and it's been doing quite well. There are a few idiosyncrasies that I wanted to point out to you guys for the left-hand folder, and then what we're gonna do is, actually I've got a new lower over here. This is actually fresh in from the ATF. This is registered as a short-barreled rifle. So we're going to be building up a short-barreled rifle, and we'll be using it throughout the video here. I'm going to transfer the guts over from here to this one, but first, one of the things that I wanted to point out is I'm a charging handle guy. Now, a lot of people will run the bolt release when they've got a new magazine that goes in. I don't necessarily subscribe to that line of thinking, and therefore I run the charging handle whenever I reload. Now, the issue with that is the block here on the left side, you have to put this thing somewhere, right? Like there's just a component here that, to be able to do this, to be able to fold and have the clearance to get it away from the receiver so that the mass of the stock back here can fold, like there's got to be a thing either there or on the other side, right? Like there's just no way, like you cannot defy the laws of time and space. Like you got to have something there, right? So, and that's not their fault, but when I run this charging handle, I hit it, right? So although it's very convenient to have this fold to the left out of the way, I'm going to transfer this over to a right hand folder, and in the process show you guys the whole system and how it goes together and all the guts. The other idiosyncrasy that I really wanted to point out while we're here on the table, I noticed that the length of pull on this system gets a little bit long for me. I'm a very compressed shooter, and I shoot square to the target quite a bit. I've transitioned that a little bit, but for the most part, I'm a short, stocky person. I'm 5'11", my arms are fairly short. This system makes it just a little bit long for me. So the other product that we're gonna be using for the transfer here is actually another Deadfoot product, and this is their T-Rex stock system. And what it does is it mitigates that length of pull issue here if you're one of those people that likes to run their guns super short. Alright, so first things first, this is going to be pretty much in reverse order of putting this thing together. And just to make it easier, I'm going to go ahead and remove this mag pull that we have here. And I'm just going to leave this run. There's going to be lots of cuts in here for time. This is actually where the springs go in, and they're going to be under tension here. So there you go. I have pre-loosened this stuff so it's easy to see. You would seize all this down. Now for this part, this is the part that actually connects the adapter to the receiver. We're just going to go ahead and rotate this one out. So there is our left-handed adapter, and there it is right next to the right-handed adapter. Right, so we're going to put the left hand aside. And out of here we have the second spring, the buffer, right? It goes in like that, and this goes together right like this. Set that aside. And now we're going to remove our carrier. Pull the charging handle, and you can see this carrier is a little shorter than we're used to seeing. This is a 5-position stock, and how it works is there's a piece right here that you push, and you basically move it right like that. And you can actually set this thing, if you rotate it over on this side, you can see that there's an Allen bolt right here. You just pull that out, move it to the position you want it to lock to, and that is the maximum length of pull that you can extend the stock, so you can have like a preset pretty much. God, I love this gun. As promised, the SBR is here, and as you can see, the Deadfoot Arms MCS works quite well on it. We have been very happy with this thing. This is not the initial function check. It's been here for about a week for testing before the filming of this, but you guys get to skip all that boring stuff and see it in action here. This thing is a dream, especially we work very much around vehicles, and having the ability to fold, get in and out, and do work with both hands without the stock interfering with what you're doing is a huge asset. And what we're going to do actually is run over to the vehicle and show you exactly what we're talking about in that regard.
Alright guys, one of the things I really like about the MCS system is its concealability without sacrificing any of the functionality. This can be real important for you high threat security guys, where you can carry your weapon system concealed under a jacket without sacrificing any of the functionality of the gun. So I got a reduced mag here. We're going to go from conceal, throw some rounds down range. Here we go. Try to do that with a regular AR-15. Let's go to the truck. Alright guys, we made the gun safe. We put a barrel flag in it. We're in the truck now, and we're going to show you how useful the MCS system is on an AR inside of a vehicle. One of the things I want to point out right off the bat is just the mobility of being able to move around. I can actually come around, clear my door jamb over my steering wheel, and if I need to go out this other window, I can. I can't do that with a stock, a fully extended stock on an AR-15 inside and behind the steering wheel of a truck. So you can see I'm here, I'm trying to maneuver. I can't get past here because the stock is hanging up on everything, and to be able to shoot out this way, I got to turn my full body around, where I don't with the stock folded on this system here.
So you can just push out with that with the 2-point sling and create an isometric position like that.
Yeah, we learned a long time ago that a sling is not just for something to hang your gun on. A sling has a lot of uses, and the main use of a sling is to stabilize your weapon system. So by pushing against your sling and getting a good steady, sight alignment there, you can move around, and I can still clear everything inside the vehicle. If I need to move it in a little bit, the stock's not in the way, I can bring it clear to my shoulder, and clear my steering wheel with it if I need to. So it works out really good with this system on an AR, especially if you got fortunate enough to have an SBR, I like it.
Well, I think what we do is we're going to do some shooting out of the truck now, a couple different things, but we won't be shooting through the windshield. But just about everything else, should be all right. No,
my Silverado won't be happy if we, shoot the windshield.
Oh, I didn't realize it was Chevy. Yeah. We could probably shoot through the windshield.
No, well, I don't want any ricochets. All right, guys, we're going to go hot here with a couple controlled pairs and show you the mobility that we're talking about. Alright guys, one of the major concerns about working around vehicles is being able to exit that vehicle without getting hung up on everything. I tell you what, I'm one of those kind of guys, like if somebody threw something out of an airplane, it would land on whatever I was dragging. I get hung up on everything. And I mean, this little thing right here, I'd get hung up on it, the steering wheel, the gear shift. It might not be your vehicle. Little things that can snag and hang up on where you need a compact weapon system. This system right here is the ticket. Here we go. Alright guys, anytime we're fighting around a vehicle, we always want to make sure we stay as low as possible and get behind something solid, especially like a wheel, the engine. The last thing we want to do is pop up over a hood. Not only are we silhouetting ourselves, but incoming fire, when ricochets, it can follow the contour of the hood and literally home in on you. So the last thing you want to do is pop up and just make yourself a target. Stay low, get on the ground, get behind something solid. If we're trying to work around a vehicle and our threat's on the other side, we want to try to keep as much of our body behind cover as we can. So we want to just ease that gun around and take those shots. Well, sometimes with a full stock, this gets in the way right here, you can see, and I actually got to try to transfer it to the other side while trying to keep as much of my body behind cover.
Let's say he's got several more pounds of kit on. All right, push your gun out, right? Now move that around your face.
Yeah, it's not working too well.
If you've got a lot more weight on, like magazines and armor and kit and stuff, this can become a ligature.
And with that stock folded, I can have that gun this close to me and sneak around with it. All right, guys, with this system, we showed you how easy it was to shoot from a vehicle, to exit a vehicle, to shoot around a vehicle, doing some groundwork behind the wheel down there, and now getting back in the vehicle. I don't have to show any special considerations like I would with a full-length stock, backing my way into the vehicle, putting the gun in first. I basically just use this thing as an extension of my body and get in. A folding stock when working around a vehicle is definitely the way to go.
Alright guys, special thanks to Doc for running the vehicle component of the demo. Unfortunately, I just had surgery a few weeks ago, so a little under the weather, can't do all the super fun, moving and shooting, vehicle stuff, which makes me really sad, but hey, at least I got to watch, right? I hope you guys enjoyed it, but the MCS system, as we've seen, is just one of those things that I personally believe that everybody should have on their AR-15. And this product was sent to us by Deadfoot Arms, so that's out there now. But the one thing I wanted to say is, if they decided they want to repossess this stock after the conclusion of this video, then I'm probably just gonna have to buy it off of them, because I'm gonna have to probably get a few more of these for some of my other guns, because these things are just where it's at. Now, a few improvements that I would suggest for Deadfoot arms on this thing is there are a few pieces on here that I'd like to highlight. If we look here on this ring, there's a little bit of rust on it. I think that they should take a look at the finish that they're putting on this thing, maybe enhance that a little bit so it's a little bit more corrosion resistant. For you guys, put some oil on it, plain and simple. The next thing is one of the springs inside here has, now it's not this one's really well coated, but this spring right here, make sure you run this thing wet because it also seems to rust. It should probably have another finish on that spring of some kind, something similar to the coating on the smaller spring. Let me put this back together real quick. And we're good. Now that last part that I did right there, the spinning of that ring, this has been here for, in our terms, forever. All right, it's been here for several months and it's been beat around the whole time. It's taken a lot of abuse. And one of the things that we noticed is this ring, after about 1,000 rounds-ish, will back off a little bit. So if you've got this on your system, you might consider putting a little bead of Loctite for you guys there at home, right there on the back to keep that from backing out, or some other thread locker tape or something like that to keep it from coming loose, because if you do that, if it's out of battery, it won't lock, right? So that is one thing that you guys should take into consideration when you install one of these things on your system. Make sure that you've got that secured down. All in all, like I said, this thing is going to stay on this gun because I absolutely love this Deadfoot Arms MCS system. If you guys found this video interesting, informative, please hit that like button down below. If you guys think that we earned your subscription here today, please hit that subscribe button, as well as share it around so maybe your friends will enjoy it too. Thanks for watching the VSO Gun Channel, and we'll see you guys on a future video.
All right, guys, we're in the truck now. One of the things we wanted to point out to this is how much movability. No.
Movability.
Movability.
Mobility?
Mobility.
Yeah.
Mobility.
Movability.
All right.
You just made up a word.
That better not find a blooper reel.